All right, you're asking for it, so here it is. Listen to this.
I want you folks laughing at we partners pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, screaming, all that shit, dog. We sweating, getting wet, and all that.
All right. Welcome to the 201st episode of the Drinking Partners Podcast. Yes, this is our Ozzie Smith episode because, like Ozzie Smith, we've redefined our position with flair and longevity, and that's what he did for the shortstop position. Just he was cool as shit out there. You know, even the little small things he did, they were just great. Just him getting the ground ball, throwing him out. He would do a backflip or some shit. He would throw it, and some sparkly shit would come out his hand. Fucking boss out there. Pizzazz. Like, yeah, that's we're gonna rename the 200 series the Pizzazz episodes. We got a lot of pizzazz. I'm half the host from Tandem, Ed Bailey. I'm joined as always with my co-host Dave Bracey. Say what up to the people.
What's good with you people? We are the Drinking Partners, 201 episodes deep, man. If you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play, and Spotify under Drinking Partners. And you can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod, man. 201 episodes, man. We've been asking y'all, and we will continue to ask you, man, for another 200 more.
Cool. 201. It's so hard to find something cool about 201, except for the longevity.
Right, 201. That's a shit, man. I just saw a stat that said 50% of podcasts don't make it past the 7th episode, and another 50% don't make it past 7 episodes that pass that. So, like,
why are you reading stats like that?
Right,
now you're making me sound like I don't know shit.
Longevity,
that's
baby.
That's not a lot of episodes.
201 episodes we've been asking y'all. We will continue to ask you, man.
7?
Please, niggas is lazy, man. Please hop on iTunes, rate and review, man. And they're not entertaining. They're not nearly as entertaining.
I don't know who the fuck was on our 7th episode.
Somebody that got us through that.
That might just be us. Is that Chris Mitchell?
Was it Chris? I don't think that might have been. It might have been that Alley or Spag. No, remember we had
shit.
That might have been.
If you nailed that on the head, that would be awesome.
I don't even know. That's your job, bro.
Hey,
you know
look,
I mean?
well, some of those episodes they start to disappear. We don't got that good plan.
I don't even tell people about
iTunes.
some of those episodes.
We don't got the full catalog plan. That costs a little extra.
You can't go on them.
Our shits fall off.
You gotta go to Libsyn for the for those episodes. I mean, iTunes be charging too. They want too much.
Right.
Oh, Ronald Renwick and Andy.
Ronald Redneck. They just call him Ronald Redneck.
The Ron Redneck.
Shout out to Andy P and Ronald Redneck. You guys are awesome, man.
But look, man, 201 episodes. We've been asking y'all. We'll continue to ask, man. Hop on iTunes, rate and review. That's how we know what we're doing well. That's how we let others know that we're doing well. And that's how we continue to do well, man. So please hop on iTunes. Hop on Facebook, man. Rate and review.
Listen, man, you love us. You see us in public. You love us. Now, at the click of a button, please tell the internet. Please tell the world, okay? We need that, man. And Lou, look, it's 201. You know, we passed the 200 mark. Yeah. Milestone indeed, but the program's not going to change because, as always, and we've said it 200 times, this will be the 201st time.
It be working.
It does work. It actually almost worked from yesterday because in lieu of rates and reviews, we do accept shots of Henny, okay? Yeah. So if you see us out and about, give us that shot of Hennessy. Let us know that you're listening. Shout out to the Car Guy DJ and the Conways who started the trend, kept the trend going for everybody who's contributed to my Henny fund. That's been dope. I seen the Conways. They fucking live tweeted or whatever that it was at my show last night. I'm like, ooh, free Henny on the way. I couldn't get out that green room at Arcade to get to the Hennessy, man. I was tight. So if y'all got that shot, man, I'm gonna come get it from y'all.
That works, man. Truth. Speaking of coming out to see us, man, if you're looking for us, you could catch us March 16th out at Arcade. Epic Night of Comedy. Always got fresh comics up, and we always got BYOB and free craft beer and
Amber Sand.
It's an and.
In addition to,
so it's BYOB.
As well as.
So you could bring your own beer. You could bring your own booze. It could be wine. Maybe you're not into beer. Maybe you're a wine type. Maybe a kombucha type motherfucker. Yeah, I mean, whatever it is.
I don't know. Don't bring wine to our shows.
You could bring whatever it is that you bring.
I don't know, man. man. I don't like the
Listen,
people.
man,
They bring wine and they had a cardigan tied around their waist.
They
and
do
shit.
these fancy shit. They be having the wine bags, man. They be like stunting with these wine bags.
They have the Trader Joe's wine bags just lined with shit. They got a cocaine department in the wine bag. It's dope as shit.
They be having little coolers and shit. They be having, little bedazzled type shit. It'd be a lot of shit going on with these wine bags.
Dude,
but
listen, military cooler at the last show. It was bulletproof, industrial size bulletproof.
Be wheeling that shit in like little.
For a group of two, like motherfuckers got hors d'oeuvres and cheeses in them.
That motherfucker kept pulling shit out, like like they was on a picnic, like a real ass picnic. I was waiting for the motherfucking
the tire jack. This motherfucker got everything.
Little candle and shit. This motherfucker.
We appreciate those who come well prepared.
Listen, man, it's date night for y'all. We get it. Yeah, if that's what you want to do, you want to bring a little cooler or some shit with your girl, like pull out a little blankie or
Try
whatever.
to show your lady that
Cuddle
you're a man.
Up,
look, I got a hammer at all times. I work with my hands. Look how ashy my hands are. Like, get the fuck out of here.
It's BYOB. Bring your girl. It's a cheap ass date night and free craft beer, man. Listen, man, Hot Farm is coming through this time, and they gonna pour some delicious shit. Because that's we the drinking partners, man. So that's Arcade Comedy Theater, March 16th. And if you're looking for tickets, that's arcadecomedytheater.com. And then
we got John Bruton headlining down at Arcade on March 16th, and then we have Sam B. Out at Contra Theater, Samantha Bentley, one of the funniest motherfuckers in this city, man. We gotta get her on the cast too.
Yeah.
March 30th, rather. We're down at Contra Theater. Same deal.
Yeah.
BYOB, Ampersand. You know what I'm saying? Craft samples. All right?
These are quote unquote samples, man. The shit that they be giving we can't be.
Call them samples.
We have to call them samples. Listen, man, we got motherfuckers looking at us, but listen,
these are full size samples. These are dinosaur samples.
These are large samples here.
These are
quote unquote samples. And Union Brothers, man. Them motherfuckers came
exclusive.
So they ain't even open yet. So there's that. Yeah, you can't even get this shit on the streets all like that. Yeah, Two, them motherfuckers showed out last time. Like they came through like 5 different selections. They had like sauce, like a sour dip. They had an IPA. They had a little like milk stout. They came out. They ready to open up.
They were showing their ass.
Yeah, they showing their ass. They in a little bit of they in a little range.
It hard for people to leave.
Yeah, true.
Just it was like 30 people in the lobby. We're like, we don't own this place. We don't leave here.
Chilling, like after the show, like just hanging the fuck out. With roadies. So shout out to Union Brothers. They will be there again March 30th.
We got roadies
getting
now.
Getting the sauce. So come through. Support is BYOB and free craft beer, and that's ContraTheater.ticketleap.com. Man, come hang.
So in the realm of craft beer, that can translate or transition right to our episode, because I'm excited. Been sipping a little bit of what these gentlemen have brought to offer here. And it's 201. So 1 being the number, it's going back to 1 like Brian McKnight. They going back to his roots at IUP, because we have J. Eric and Luke here from Levity Brewing Co. out in Indiana, PA. Say what up to the people.
What's up, guys?
Okay, and there's a third here, but he acting shy. But he gonna
I
loosen
don't know
up.
how anybody follows after that. I'm still thinking about kombucha and.
I'm telling you,
there you go.
Kombucha.
This is why he sat right here, because he know we got that Henny connection.
Kombucha and Henny sounds like a dope ass thing.
Kombucha Henny.
I'm gonna pull the trigger on that bulletproof cooler. I'm gonna pull the trigger. It's been in my cart.
It's one of your must-haves. So you gonna treat yourself.
Yeah, y'all cooler. It's not bulletproof. Somebody shoot through that cooler. Now you got a beer spill.
A lot of expensive product is out there wasted, man. It's tough. So tell us about your brewery, man. Like how y'all got in there and how y'all surviving out there in Indiana, man. Because I kind of had some formidable years out there. It's kind of like the Wild West sometimes. And especially like location.
As in always.
Is it? Yeah. And it's like it's kind of like. It's like location wise, it's like there's not like there's Penn State and then there's Pittsburgh and there's like so it's like a weird crossroad. There's Johnstown. I'm sure Johnstown be representing coming through. On the tip. So tell us what life is like.
He trying so hard to make this place sound cool. I'm sure Johnstown be representing on the tip. What the fuck do that mean?
Man, if we have to be looking up to Johnstown.
No, they representing on the tip,
It's
man.
bad.
I know some motherfuckers that are really proud of their flood. Like, motherfuckers be really. Yeah, we had a flood
As
here
if
once.
they
I
saw
don't know if you know about us, but we survived some shit.
I can empathize being identified by a tragedy because you tell motherfuckers from Cleveland, they be like, didn't y'all lake catch on fire? Shit just catch on fire? Damn, that was like 13 presidents ago.
Cleveland is still a tragedy. Like, didn't LeBron leave? Yeah, that's y'all new tragedy. They done forgot about the fire. Y'all got a new tragedy.
Look, bruh. I don't want to have to start talking about sports tragedies when Antonio Brown running around with a blonde mustache.
That nigga got the Hulk Hogan Coolio looking like that shit is like what? Yo, you been hanging out? That nigga been hanging out with white people? That's
you
that
could
shit.
tell.
That
You could
motherfucker
tell.
got no day one. He got no day.
He got his money and he immediately changed his inner circle. His inner circle ain't none of them in his baby picture. God damn.
That nigga is pill popping these days.
But he be having a fresh shape up like he went to a black barber shop. But he's like, look, just get the beard and then I'm gonna go to my man's across town. He gonna take care of the stash.
He bought a bulletproof cooler.
ain't no black barber giving that motherfucker stash. They was like, no, you ain't telling motherfuckers I did that.
Tom over here, he's gonna take care of the stash. Got Tom out in Cranberry. He be at your shows. He gonna take care of the stash. Just shape up the beard, fade me out, but don't touch the stash at all. You ain't got the right chemicals. You gotta get that color right. So you guys aren't making poor decisions like that at Levity.
Nah.
I hope not that poor.
It's a poor life decision.
Well, Levity. So Indiana, Day, you went to IUP.
Yeah.
For journalism, you think?
I think. I mean, it didn't turn out too well.
They don't give out degrees at IUP. Participation certificates.
Yeah. I got a lot of participation certificates.
We're very
in the
proud
form
of you.
a noise violation. So I definitely participated in what you participate in.
Okay, so I grew up in Indiana. This is Luke, and I grew up in Indiana, and my whole life, downtown Indiana, the whole alcohol scene in Indiana was driven by college students, 2 a.m., cheapest drunk you could get, right?
Natty Ice,
whatever it is.
Usually in some basement.
A basement establishment.
Kegs, you know.
So-
yeah.
So I kind of grew up with a sort of a negative impression of alcohol in general, and but then when I got close to 21 and
I got close to 20.
well,
Close-ish.
21.
It might not make it.
Craft beer was starting to explode all over the country. Pittsburgh was starting to take off. And every time I came down to Pittsburgh or went to a new city, went on vacation or something, I would always come across these breweries, and I'd go in them. I'd be like, I'm 36. 36.
Okay, so yeah, we can do the same.
Yeah.
We
Be
same
proud
age.
of it. You looked at him like, why is he asking me?
Because you look a lot older.
And I forget. I
know who's going to get age questions on this
No,
podcast.
I mean, like I'm just trying to place like the era. Yeah, I mean, because
Yeah.
like shit. I mean, because we're the same age.
He was
so,
over.
like,
He was taking
21,
over for the 99 and the 2.
like
He was
21.
2000, class of 2000.
The only thing that I was really new back then was like Sierra Nevada. That
Yeah.
was really the only.
And Trogs started popping up.
Oh, really?
Trogs
See,
Pale Ale.
I couldn't afford that shit. I was still
Well,
affording
that's
that.
why I got into homebrewing. I tried Trogs Pale Ale one day,
Oh, shout out to
and I
Troy.
was
Shout out
like,
to Trogs.
I was like, wait a second, what is this I'm smelling? And it was hops, and it was the first time I could smell hops in an IPA, and I was like, that is something I need more of, but it's expensive. So
it is expensive.
So yeah, I'm a 21-year-old college student. And
Well, you're almost 21.
no, I was 21 at this point.
I thought you were 36.
21 at this point. And then I just like, well, hey, I know. I can make it myself. That would be so much cheaper.
Yeah.
Well,
He tries this with electric and gas at the brewery and steam and all
You gotta
kinds of stuff.
try to DIY
So
everything.
he still just like tries to.
I try to DIY
No, let it all
everything.
out. We love for the tea to be spilled on here.
You know what?
Am I right? Am I
He's
right?
been
Eric,
holding
you're
on
off
to this
mic.
for a
But
long time. You trying too much shit at the brewery. He's tired of walking in on your experiments.
it's like, nah. This is what the IRS really wants. This is what they should be
What
getting.
does it smell like?
Who hooked this shit up? 'Cause I thought maybe you could have a beer come out of the faucet in the bathroom.
I can build my own car, right? That's another story.
Are you an engineer?
He's an engineer.
you an
He's a
engineer?
tinker.
Yes.
He's
As
a
an
tinker.
engineer,
I like to
listen,
think of myself as an engineer.
We use that term.
That's a dangerous phrase right there. I'd like
We're
to
insulting
think of
a lot
myself
of
as an
engineers.
engineer. That's
Not formally trained, but yes.
terrible.
Wait, what do you do? What is?
He's a tinkerer.
He's a
He's
The
a
tinkerer.
tinkerer.
He's a master tinkerer.
like. Did you? So did you, like when you started brewing or whatever? Did you cook at all? Like, or did you like?
Oh yeah,
is it-
yeah. I like cooking.
you like cooking?
Like grilling.
Yeah.
Got it.
Luke
You
makes
know.
some good food.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Gotta have
home
a palate
brewing,
of some sort.
home brewing started with Trogue's Pale Ale, and I could smell the hops, and I was like, "This is me for the rest of my life. I got to get more of this, and the cheapest way to get it is home brewing."
Mm-hmm.
Well, what they don't tell you is that when you get into home brewing, you start
really, really
buying all
expensive.
this equipment, and one batch out of a few goes bad, and you end up dumping it. So you end up spending so much more on home brewing. But I learned a ton, and it was so much fun, and the whole DIY aspect of it was great. And so, yeah, that's where it started. Trogue's Pale Ale, getting a whiff of those probably Cascade hops. I'm not quite sure.
What was the first thing you brewed?
An IPA, probably a double IPA.
Yeah, how did it turn out?
Good. And I was hooked.
man.
It turned out. It turned out.
Yeah,
That's the
he's
problem.
telling the truth.
He's a tinkerer.
That's the problem. The first
He's
batch
an
turned
almost
out.
engineer.
Yeah.
First batch turned out, and that's the problem. I was
Where
like,
did you-
oh, this is easy.
Where did you learn to brew though? I mean, because like that's the one thing to be like, all right, well, I could brew. Like, but where did you learn to do that shit? Like,
Well,
was it, like,
I mean-
clubs? Like, were you YouTubing it and shit?
Probably
Did you know
YouTubing
Eric,
it.
the YouTube
He
guy?
learned to read
Have you
at
ever met that
IUP.
fucking-
No.
That motherfucking dude that he used to hang
Oh.
out at, Eric, the YouTube guy. He used to go around and tell every
Wait.
fucking body that would listen that he owns. Like he's Eric Skaggs. That motherfucker goes around and tells everybody that he invented YouTube and they like scammed him out of it.
The IUP guy?
Yeah, IUP.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Eric Skaggs dude.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like short
We
blonde
talked about
dude.
him on another episode.
Yeah, he be up there. Like I went like when I was up there or whatever. Like he would come to my parties and shit, and like I didn't know he was crazy. I didn't know that until like a couple years later. I just like bumped into him, and he was driving a car that said like the YouTube guy, and like he like had all these. He was like the YouTube guy, and he kept like. You know, he's like, oh yeah, I invented YouTube. And I was like, bro, you ain't never told me anything about this shit. Like
He was
years
ahead of his time. He was the original troll. If he be doing that shit now, he'd be famous.
He's still doing that shit. He go, yo, bro.
Yeah, but he started too early. He old news.
Yeah, he
now.
old,
YouTube
yeah.
ain't even what it was. You know what I mean? Like
He's still one of our best customers. So.
Oh yeah, don't
That's
say anything
awesome.
bad about him.
well, you can't say anything bad about him.
Bro, your
You
business ain't
can't.
doing good if fucking Eric Skaggs is there telling everybody he's the fucking YouTube dude.
Well,
Well,
he's putting
I
us
don't know
on
anything about
YouTube.
that. IUP brought him back in to talk about his exploits.
Are you lying?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
No, I'm serious.
Are you serious? That
Yes.
motherfucker is crazy.
Stop letting your children apply to
they
IUP.
brought in the real,
Yeah.
like Chad Hurley.
Oh, sorry.
the real YouTube
dude.
guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all got
Gotcha.
the real
The
YouTube.
real
Okay,
YouTube
I
dude.
see.
Yeah, there's a
Moving
real
on.
Yeah, because he
dude.
actually named like the gymnasium at the KCAC.
Oh.
after
Yeah.
his track
Okay.
coach.
There's a real YouTube guy that came from
Yeah,
IUP. And then there's this dude that keeps running around saying that he gave him the idea and then it's been stolen and like
Yeah, he's your
He's
neighbor.
probably
dude.
telling the truth.
He's talking about your neighbor.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
But the
That's my dad.
motherfucker, that motherfucker, like
He's probably telling the truth.
that motherfucker got a car that like has like stickers on his side and shit that says the real YouTube guy. Like the motherfucker is, it's like a '93 Bonneville or some shit. Like,
sweet.
That's
So
what
he's-
happens when you have a good idea and somebody takes it. We
just
all
say
saw
he's-
Dream Girls, so you got something going and somebody take your shine. You just gonna hold on to that shit. Like,
Let's just
and all
say
he
he's
can
done pretty well for himself.
All he can
Hey,
afford is that
let's
Bonneville
get
right
that
now.
guy in for summer
right.
festival.
Yeah,
Let's-
get him in and
he
talk.
can autographs. Give him,
Give a little.
the real
get
good-
pictures by the Bonneville.
Oh shit! Ideas coming.
Give him his cred.
He probably
That's
telling the
all
truth.
the
all
son.
at once.
He's
He
probably telling the truth. He
might.
probably YouTube was probably his idea. He had no means to make it happen, that is a perfect transition. So you got your idea. You're like, all right, I'm a homebrew. So you got YouTube in your head. You're Eric Skaggs at this point. Yeah, how do you make it happen? Well, that's two different. So
like 10 years of homebrewing and working. I working at a bank in like small business lending.
Homebrew in a bank, though.
And Eric was in sales.
Good banks do.
Good banks got a little kid in the bank.
Pretty forward thinking, yeah.
Like, I mean, were you YouTubing? Were you like, did you get books? Like, where did you like learn?
Yeah, books, internet, videos, YouTube, everything. And and just trial and error. Just, practice makes perfect. So I was working at a bank in Indiana, headquartered in Indiana, S&T Bank. Eric was doing pharmaceutical sales and then gas industry sales, and Jay was a junior high science teacher at Woodland Hills.
Woody High, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Woody High alum too. So
okay,
are you sure you okay with that?
2000,
right? I mean,
Woody High.
So we're all doing our separate things, and craft beer is sort of exploding, and we're doing homebrewing and enjoying the rise of craft beer and all the variety that's out there. And we just thought, like, this is happening all around us, not in our town, and our town would love it. Our town would embrace it, I think. So we took the risk and we quit our jobs, perfectly good jobs, and built a brewery in an old window factory, and the rest is history. We're 3 years in now, and it's going great. It's fun.
How's the community like taking it?
The community's been awesome. So so I grew up in Indiana. The beer scene, the alcohol scene in general, is driven by 2 a.m. college kids, way too much to drink, and bad publicity. Because people get in trouble and dying, and sure enough, when we opened Levity, there's this whole giant group of people who's been leaving town to have a good time at a bar somewhere, and we open it up, and it's kind of like the grown-ups, peaceful, sweet place in town.
Grown and sexy.
You got to put on your hard bottoms to go to Levity. You got to have on your bow tie to get in. Okay, y'all got a guy at the door. Making people step to the side.
Nice shawl.
Shaw.
You on the list, bro?
Yeah.
You on the list? I don't see you on the list, bro.
I got a list.
But there's this big group of people in Indiana.
You don't want to be on the list.
Who's been waiting?
Don't want to be on the list.
Who's been waiting and longing for something like, good beer, nice atmosphere, just friendly people, and we close our doors at 10 or 11 at night. So the rabble's not showing up at our place.
Yeah.
So, it's just a different feel entirely, and
definitely a grown like it's like a grown.
It's a different culture, and that's
I think I think breweries in general are typically more of an adult thing. Like people don't come there to get slammered. You can, and
well, they'll get slammered.
I have been slammered in a brewery
but
too.
That first
but it's like a respectable
slammer.
Yeah. I didn't go there like I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna obliterate myself. Like I ended up talking to a brewer or some shit, and then how motherfucking y'all be. I'd just be like,
started obliterating.
They started obliterating you. But typically that's not what people do, and that's dope. And it's crazy. Like, do you get like a lot of college students that come down at all?
Y'all priced them out.
I'm about to say that would probably be
priced out. But the
because that's a large part of the industry in that town is the college. So to have a business and sustain yourself that is almost like outside of that is pretty impressive.
Well, the university at one time, IUP, I guess, is no longer. They might be second to Westchester out in Philly, but IUP used to be the largest state university in the PASHE system. And so there's a lot of professional staff there. We've got a hospital. So there's numerous doctors, nurses. And like you said, breweries do tend to attract a professional staff, if you will. So yeah, we don't get a ton of college students. They think they're priced out. Ironically, we all know from our college days what what you end up spending on it and a night of fun. It's not too much different than what you would have spent at our place. You know what I mean? So, but that's okay. It's.
But the breweries are the middle class turn up. Like even just like we were talking about feel, just the conversation that you have at a brewery, even if you get obliterated that night. Like before you were obliterated, you had like some real conversation. You don't remember any of it, the next day, but it happened. As opposed to like you're not in a brewery just trying to hit on women and doing crazy shit. Like you in there to sit down and actually enjoy what you're consuming. Like there's an aspect of enjoyment that everybody comes in with that understanding, as opposed to look, I'm just drinking because it's a means to an end. This
Natty Ice is a means to an end.
It's definitely that's all it can
nobody's
be.
Putting that.
That's
in their
all
body
on the ingredients. Means to an end. That's all that's on there.
Some fucking lemonade shit or whatever.
I've not seen. I don't even know what Natty Ice is
It's
anymore.
like some strawberry lemonade. Like just like why the fuck nobody wants to taste this shit. Like
because the Ritas, man, the lima Ritas and the pizza Ritas, man,
the flat seltzer, the seltzer water things now.
Yeah, the Budweiser created a whole different lane. Now all of these companies gonna try to jump in that lane.
Right. And then I think you have priced out like college students. Because I mean, like anything more than free was more than I was paying for a typical night. I don't know. I mean, most places was like, I was going to a frat. There was like cover charges, man. The first time I went to it had a cover charge. I came home. And I went to a place to go to a party, and they were like, "Yo, you was like $10 again." I was like, "Wait, you got to pay to get into
Pittsburgh
places?"
been bougie like that.
Like,
we been charging at the door. Pittsburgh been charging.
Like what is it? So what did you guys bring here? I mean, like, so tell us about some of this booze, because that's what we kind of do here on this podcast. We talk about the beer that you're brewing and drinking.
We brought a bunch of different things.
Like to hear, man.
Yeah. So, and I was just getting thirsty too because I'm empty here.
Yeah,
okay, Eric bought out the high end flannel.
High end.
You got the Burberry beer.
Yeah. So I mean, you don't have to have a bow tie on or nothing, but
you don't have to have a bow tie. You have to have a high end
flannel. That's how we get dressed up in Indiana, PA.
It do look like the.
This is high end beer. You're not just in college getting Burberry beer. Like
it do look like the.
You put your high end flannel.
Right? That's your outfit for your baby shower.
High end flannel.
Ooh.
So
the hood baby shower.
The hood baby shower. You know what I mean?
You gotta get fitted up. You gotta get some new J's, your new Levi's, and your Burberry shirt.
Yeah,
because this how you gonna be. This how you'll ingratiate yourself to the family, because they ain't met you before. They ain't met you before the baby shower. She's 7 months pregnant. You just showing up to the baby shower. Like, yeah, I'm claiming them.
Gold chain, and a high-end flannel.
Man. Boy, you go to Nordstrom's, you see one of them hood dudes in Nordstrom's, you know he going to a baby shower.
We should do a collab called Baby Shower Shirt.
Oh, so we starting off with the Burberry beer. All right, we starting off with the baby shower.
Oh,
So what type of, what is this? It's called high end. What type?
That's fucking
like
Recover. It is a sour. It is a mixed fermentation.
Mixed fermentation? What the fuck does that mean?
So we have some.
Man, we don't know shit. You got to talk to us like we don't know shit. We know even less shit. As
I used to do that for a profession. So we harvested some wild yeast.
Ooh.
Some wild yeast, and then we also had some controlled pitches of bacteria and other wild strains of yeast all in oak barrels. This is a blend of both bourbon. Now the bourbon was quite used out, and so it's not supposed to really contribute too much character there, but wild yeast fermentation in bourbon barrels and some wine barrels with some controlled strains of bacteria. And this one actually took first place in the mixed fermentation character. Oh. Not to brag or anything, but
we didn't take it as bragging.
It did.
I don't know if you've ever heard of the Pennsylvania Farm Show.
Yeah,
It's the biggest one in the country.
Yeah, no, it's huge. I didn't realize how big that fucking thing is.
We didn't either until we showed up there. And we were just,
It's
like
whoa,
it's like
huge.
4 Steelers
Man.
games trying to crowd into one building.
It's fucking
wild.
huge.
with
I've never
like
been over.
mounds and mounds of horse dung.
Yes.
A word?
It smells.
Oh, my word.
Is that where they like
Yes.
all the horse dung comes from?
All the
They
horse
have
dung.
All that there. They're like, listen, man. While you're all here,
just, like,
get your doggy bags.
We're gonna collect.
I still feel like I'm watching
Taking up
it
a
out.
collection.
Where is
You look
this?
perplexed.
It's in Harrisburg.
I'm just trying to figure out why we doing this around horse dung. I'm confused.
Well,
about
because
Farmers
it's
really
the
love
farm
dung,
show.
man.
It's
Yeah.
they bring
Yeah.
their
They're about that
prize
shit.
pigs.
You
and
learn that
prize
if you went to
horses.
IUP.
They can't put that away for a second while I try to get my beer. Like now, if I'm drinking this sour and there's all this horse dung coming in, that horse dung is walking.
You know
I'm
what's-
like,
you know what,
did
like-
They
put it
have
in the
a
ingredients?
butter
I'm
sculpture.
like, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
I'm gonna say that horse dung isn't the worst smell in the world. And there's a I don't know, there's something, when I be riding down or whatever, and I'm like, that ain't the worst, like get a little whiff, like, oh, that's
All right.
a little shitty around it. Again, I'm not like, it's not a thing that like
Okay.
I may enjoy, but I don't hate it.
All right.
I might wanna be like,
Anyway.
I might not want to be like
what the fuck is you
Yeah.
talking about?
I want to be posted up.
Farm
next to
show.
it.
I mean, why is that
But
your
it-
thought?
First place at the
That's
farm
not the
show.
worst in the world.
It reminds me of like fresh like grass. Like, oh, they're doing some shit. It's like renovation. Like, oh,
Yeah.
like new grass is coming or some shit. Like, oh, somebody's like planting some shit. It seems like, it reminds me of like, oh, somebody's doing something cool. Like,
Thank you for your honesty.
I don't think it's the truth. When the last time you smelled something just randomly, it was like, that ain't the worst smell in the world? That's not your thought. That's not your thought. You ride down the street, you smell
Trust
it, you
me,
be like,
trust
yo,
me,
I
as
smell
someone who
shit.
grew up
That's
in-
what you thought. Like, I smell shit.
it don't smell like
No, don't.
there's some bad shit. Like dog shit
doesn't
stinks.
smell like
Pig.
No,
like-
Pigs
Yes.
stink.
It
Yeah,
smells
like,
like a
I mean,
farm.
there's-
It doesn't smell like
It doesn't smell like
a
the most
full
of-
toilet, a clogged toilet.
Exactly, like a toilet. You walk into a toilet, like, oh, that's like terrible. Like
Yeah.
horse shit is like, that's all right. It's industrial. I would say it's an industrial smell. You know what I
But
mean? Like,
anyway,
Man, I don't know. Maybe he's working on some sort of sponsorship for, I don't know.
The Amish.
This
We have Amish up in
this
Indiana
does
County.
not
Amish-
sound. This doesn't sound genuine at all.
Amishmanure.com has been great to our podcast.
Really?
I just wanted to
those
I
Amish
just wanted to put in
motherfuckers-
a plug for amishmanure.com.
That's
It's
Probably
not
do got the better shit too.
underscore
do get some,
hashtag
got
it's
some
not the
fire
worst thing I've ever
Yeah,
smelled.
they probably
Fire
do.
shit
it's
out
not
there.
the worst
Kinda
thing
shit.
I've smelled.
But they can't.
what
No,
I'm
man. They
saying?
built
Like,
Copper
weird-
Beach up there or whatever, man. They built those fucking motherfuckers. Like our door was like slanted like a motherfucker. The Amish built that shit.
Oh,
Slanted
yeah.
like a motherfucker. It wouldn't close right. And like they ain't even built all that shit when they moved us in there. So we had like our back. We ain't had no like deck. So like we had a door that just went to death. Like you open it up and motherfuckers would fall out. We'd have to like put signs up. We were throwing parties and shit. Motherfuckers was drunk and shit. We had to put this big ass thing like, don't walk out this door. Like I mean, like
This is on IUP's campus.
This was
That's
like right off
definitely-
campus,
Right
man.
That's
Right off
definitely
campus.
against code.
It is. It was
You
supposed
cannot
to be. It was
have
supposed to be this
a
high
door.
end.
The Amish frame
motherfuckers
everything.
Was, those Amish motherfuckers. They was cheap, I guess, and they
They
built
are.
them fast in the motherfucker. But like
Yeah.
that door was slanted as shit. So I don't know. I mean, maybe these were some off Amish motherfuckers. I
I just
don't
wonder
know,
at
like-
what point in the building process do you not be like, hey man, so I got these doors in these plans. There's this door in these plans, but there's no floor on the other side. I just wonder how you wanted to handle that.
Like, I think like you should at least like master
to
the
keep
90-degree angle. Like yeah, I mean like that should be a thing, right? And it wasn't. They were off a little bit. They were off by a degree or two.
Word to the wise, never rent from the Amish. I don't know if anyone has any Amish landlords, but don't have them, apparently. Yeah,
Don't
do it.
contract them. I don't know. Don't contract these motherfuckers. But anyway, so high end flannel. It took first at the
High end flannel. It took first.
We should have
in
named
the
it
mixed
suspenders or
fermentation category at the farm show. They just started doing a craft beer judging portion of the
Commercial
farm show.
craft beer.
They have been judging other things like
Wines
the
and-
quality of a pig or
For hundreds of years. Yep.
wine.
We've known the
started
quality
cider.
of pigs and horses for hundreds
That's
of years.
That's
Yeah.
a funky one too.
It-
I like
it's a
that
little
funky.
funky.
Around all that shit.
This was
Oh,
the
yeah, I
first
like
year
that
for craft
funky.
beer, right? Mm-hmm. First
Yep.
year for craft beer, so
And
we
you
entered.
just went. Yeah, I mean,
So y'all
And,
took the
yeah,
inaugural
Yeah, and speaking of
award.
Trogs was,
Yeah,
I mean,
Trogs was in our category.
oh, what?
not to brag or
Oh, what?
anything. but
Oh, all right.
was a photo. It was a
But we had a blue
photo
ribbon.
finish.
Yeah.
They came through with the photo finish. Way to go.
Yeah.
High-end flame.
That was exciting.
So how do you so one, where do you get your wild yeast from? And two, like if it's like wild or whatever, like how do you repeat that process or whatever? I mean,
Yeah, so it's not going to be 100% repeatable, but this yeast came into our brewery in the barrels. It is our belief. When we originally got these, they were High West bourbon barrels. We got sometime, I think, in 2016. It had turned some beer wild right away. We liked what we were getting. So I plated it. I was a biology education major at IUP. And so now I'm finally using some of that education and for the good. And so we plated that out, isolated a couple, identified some of the yeast that was growing on these plates, and decided let's go with it. We love what the flavor is producing. Now it took about 16 months in barrels to fully ferment.
so you like when you like chose the yeast, like how did you like when you were looking at it, you were like, yeah, that's the one. Like what the fuck does
Well,
yeast
I'm
look
not
like?
going to say I grew that particular colony up. I mean, you can do that. You can pull that off that plate and grow that up and harvest that yeast that way. But we just went with what was in there in those barrels.
So you pulled it out of the barrel and then was
just to identify it. And it was like, okay, this is a strain of Brettanomyces of some sort. And we're like, yeah, let's go with it.
Looks safe.
This isn't going to kill anybody. So
because that's a pretty big decision to like because you're putting this in barrels, so that's a long time. I mean, like storage is that's money. I mean, and barrels are money. I mean, so like to take that's a huge chance to take a yeast that you haven't used and you don't to like take that, make it out of the beer, and then throw it in the barrel. Did you like make the beer and then taste the beer and then decide to throw it in the barrels beforehand?
So yeah, like I said, it had turned one of our, we were shooting for a bourbon barrel beer, and it had turned that little funky and sour, but we weren't turned off.
Yeah, we liked
I mean, we definitely were upset that, hey, this bourbon barrel beer turned weird. It turned funky. It turned sour. But we weren't totally put off by the character of it. And so we thought, hey, let's purpose to do this. And so I actually, created a recipe with a number of caramel malts and just layered those caramel malts in there. And we 100% put that wort. It was 100% fermented in wood from day one. And all along, as we tasted it individually, each barrel was a little bit different. And in the end, obviously, one barrel was much more sour than another one, and another barrel was a little funky, but not so sour. And ultimately, the blend of 5 particular barrels was like spot on what we wanted. And so that's what we went with. After a lot of it, like I said, I think 16 months. So
we're hoping we can recreate it.
Yeah. I mean, we filled.
Not entirely sure.
And I mean, that's the beauty of what we're drinking right now. I mean, I'm actually excited the fact that like I got a chance to. I mean, like I don't know. You know what I mean? Like time is fleeting, man.
It's an
Life
award-winning
exclusive. Exactly. It's award-winning exclusive. I mean, like life is short, man. Like drink Hawaiian flannels. Like shit. I'm fucking excited about it. I remember.
Do you have any brewing background? You're saying you're doing the
no. So I was
just the bio is helping. So you got your bio with his brew, and
I was
it's a good team.
I was a biologist. For a little while, I was a carpenter. I was a carpenter turned teacher, and now I turned water into beer. And so I'm just trying to save the world, And
Jesus.
I'm not making that claim. I'm not making any claims, but
Jesus. Been waiting for it. They say he's always around, but we finally got this motherfucker in the studio. Live. Been 2019 years, bro. Where you been?
Trying to recover. What was the question?
I'm not gonna call
What
him
was the
Jesus.
question?
Nah, he fucked it. He called you Jesus. Now I can't talk
He
to
called
you.
himself Jesus. He said he was a carpenter that turns water.
I did.
Like,
I mean, you took
I
it there. We
managed
all
all those
heard it.
Amish people
We all
framing
heard it.
houses and stuff.
You asked Jesus where he been. You confronted him. You called him on his shit.
He ain't had no answer. We knew.
I got
I
real
forgot the
sanctified
question,
aunties
that's
that
all.
listen to this that's gonna ask me a bunch of questions. You got me in trouble.
They need to be asking those questions. Why is Jesus white? That's what they need to be asking.
Well, he's sitting right here. Ask him that.
Like
What happened to
really
your tan,
white.
bro?
I mean, like really
like,
white.
Not like just like you, not even like Southern, like Italian white, like white. Like you like.
He's Lawrenceville white.
Yeah,
Is he?
He's like
Is he an albino?
he's Butler Street white.
Albino or what is that? What is your race exactly? Albino.
Birkenstocks white. Like,
They got a new. It's 156 crayons, and they got a Butler Street. They got a Butler Street color.
Butler Street Birkenstocks.
Patagonia hat, white.
That's another level. When you get the hat, because we start rocking the Patagonia because D. Ray McKee said it. As we was like, all right, we gonna go get the Patagonia, but we was only getting the vests. We was only getting the vest. If you done went and got the hat to match the jacket, and you got the gloves with the rubber grip inside, bruh. You've gentrified a neighborhood before. You ain't gonna tell me otherwise.
How you gentrified Indiana? It was already white, and somehow it got white.
Because you put on the gloves. You put the whole. You was Patagonia from head to toe. You done bought the expensive ass drawers.
Mac Weldon's.
That's a Patagonia flannel on the. Just be hanging
No,
up
hey,
next to the jacket.
I found that flannel at TJ Maxx. To be fair,
That's actually a fire ass flannel. It do look Burberry-ish.
Oh,
So I'm interested. How So we didn't really get a lot of background as
What
to
was
how.
the question?
I don't know.
no, that's not a question.
It was not a question because he called you Jesus. We can't question you.
And
We
it's
can't
apparently
question you.
walking on water.
Yeah, we can't question you because you've been dubbed as Jesus. Now we're sinning this entire podcast. But we
I
never
think
got any
everybody was aware of that.
I think all right. So we never got any background as to how all three of you came together. And then
Yeah,
I think
how did
it's
this all come
and I
out?
think
Church.
It's dope that you have the brewing background, the biology background, and the basic finance background. And even you had small biz background with the finance. So I think it's kind of dope. How did this come together? Like,
You're not gonna believe it.
You're not going to believe this.
I am gonna believe it.
So we've been friends for a long time, and we met at our church.
No, you really did.
Yes,
meet
we
that
really
joke.
did.
So that wasn't a joke.
It's not a joke.
So-
I'm serious.
Oh, word?
No, yeah, in Indiana, we've got a great church.
Going to hell.
No, hey, put your headphones back on.
Let's go say bye to my kids.
Bro, like
I gotta go
Indiana-
home and lock my phone because I'm about to go to hell. I don't want wifey to
Indiana
get in.
got so many fucking churches,
Yeah, we
man.
do.
On
We got a
Church Street. Church Street.
Oh, I
Got
live on Church
I
Street.
live on
Bruh,
Church Street.
I live
too.
right off of Church Street. I did a lot of sinning on that motherfucking Church Street, bro. Like, man, there's so many fucking churches on Church Street. Like, it's like every block got a church.
We need them.
No, you don't. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, what are they saying on this block that they saying different than on the next one? Like, they all like, it's all like Christian church. It ain't even like they got some mosques and some like Muslim, like, I mean, they ain't even got a diversity. It's just
Now ain't no fucking mosque. Why would you even say
it's
that?
Just like it's
Ain't
just
no
churches.
mosques.
It's just I'm like, what? Like, how much Jesus you need on the one street?
There's got to be some correlation between that and the type or demographic of neighborhood. Not
It's
just
not
as
even
far
that
as
big. It's not
makeup.
even that big of a neighbor. There's no way you're packing
But if you
out.
look in black neighborhoods, there'd be a lot of churches. Like
Bruh, I ain't never been to a town that had this many motherfucking churches
Maybe not
in a
to that
very
extent.
small, like, bruh, Church Street got like 9 churches on that bit. Ain't it like,
well, it's Church Street, motherfucker. It's Church
Like,
Street,
that's
Church Ave.
man. Like, it's like I feel like it's a saturated market at that point. Like, who saw 8 churches and was like, you know what we need? 9. One more. Like, I mean, 9. Like what? But I'm sorry, you guys met at church.
You're right. There's a lot of churches on Church Street.
Which one of the churches?
There's also
and,
a lot of schools on School Street. Ironically, it's the next street
but
over.
you can get enough. There's not enough education
We're really
going
creative
on.
with
We
that.
need more
simple
education.
as fuck.
But like,
Y'all ain't even
Like,
got
we're gonna-
creative street names.
Where are we gonna put the next
there's a
school?
church. There's a street called Bar Street. And there's like
Pharmacy Ave. Stay away from this street.
frat row. Like, I mean, it's very. But like, which church did you go to, and like, how did you choose your church? Like,
You
how
don't
did you
have to call out the church if you don't
Oh,
want
it was
to.
called Lord of Life Church back in the day.
I don't trust that. That sounds like some dude trying
And now
to
it's
get y'all
called
to sacrifice
Saving-
yourselves in some yard.
Saving Grace Church. Does that sound okay to you? Saving Grace.
Oh man, you know what?
That sounds like
You
that
just
sounds like you
didn't-
come in with a hangover. It's like this is where you. It sounds like the cleanup spot.
I thought
Like,
grace
I
was
mean,
amazing. I didn't know it was saving.
That's
Oh, yeah, it's
when
both.
you got an addiction, it's saving. That's the.
Anyway.
I imagine that 3 people that started the brewery came to Saving Grace. That makes sense. Like,
So you guys meet at church, you're cutting Sunday school and smoking weed in the back, and what's going on? You're plotting out the because that's what happened. You got to cut Sunday school at least once to do something illicit shit.
Maybe at the age of like 16, but not like when we have
If you're
children.
taking your
'Cause
child
we do
to
have
Sunday school at the age of 16, they're not
no,
going.
when I was 16, not my children.
Right, I'm not your children. I'm saying if
Okay,
your parents were
fine.
taking you to Sunday school and you're 16, you're not going into that room. You're gonna wait till they drop you off, and then you're gonna go do other
some
shit. Like
Yeah.
I've never seen a 16-year-old.
Our church had a like a car impound lot behind it. Did you guys remember this? I was younger than you, but there was like a car. There was in the neighborhood. There was a car kind of impound lot, like a tow zone. You know.
you talking about
Yeah.
that lot in the back, like across from Bilo's, that whole ass.
No, different spot, but there would be some towed cars that would sit there for a couple months, and then we would explore them.
Yeah,
You know, that's what we
Explore them.
children being
That was
kids being
That
kids.
was before all this. I mean, that's
Statute of
early.
limitations is over. It's okay. You're safe.
are right.
You're safe. Statute of limitations
grace.
have expired.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's saving grace too. Hey, so so there we were going to church together and being friends and brewing beer, and Jesus' first miracle was turning water into wine.
Well,
like
we've
good wine.
described-
Was that his first miracle?
Yes,
Yes.
That's the first thing he did.
It is the
Yeah.
first public miracle that he did was turning water into good wine to
he's a cool
save
dude,
the
man.
day at a.
It probably
And,
was more likely beer.
It most likely or
That is a question we should
That's a
ask.
good
What do you
question.
think Jesus made?
Probably
We should ask all our brewers. Maybe beer. Maybe Hennessy.
it's also possible that
That it was-
beer.
He-
I don't see why Hennessy's so ridiculous.
It's also possible that craft beer wasn't around yet, so he wouldn't do that.
Look, he didn't.
Well,
There
I
was
mean,
no
Henny-
process
it
to what
could
he
be
did.
Henny. I mean, if it's wine, it could be.
It's
Henny.
no
Henny
process
is
to what he
just
did.
wine,
He
so,
snapped
I
his
mean,
finger
Right.
and the shit became. He ain't
So,
fermented no
good.
shit.
You know, yeah, he
Well, he
could. I
did
mean,
it.
I'm saying, like, listen, man, if you go and have a magical motherfucker, like, why can't it be like he could make
Why
it whatever
wouldn't it be
with
Hennessy?
Yeah, like,
Well, everybody who tasted it was like, "Whoa, you saved the good stuff for last." usually.
yeah, I mean,
So this is he made the good stuff.
Could it-
Hennessy.
That's the good shit.
it would probably be like Douce or something like that. I don't
Nah, it'd be Henny. It'd be Henny.
know, you know, I mean,
It'd be Henny. He could have made craft though. What type of so what style of beer did he make?
Yeah, what's did Jesus make?
What style? That's what we should do.
What's the
Jesus
what's the
turned
holy?
water to
Eric,
beer.
What was
think?
in that
What's the
holy
style?
grail?
Eric, what do you think he made?
Sours,
I think he made a Flanders Red.
He made a Flanders Red Ale.
Yeah,
a Flanders Red. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Flanders Red is a sour?
that's like
Oh, yeah.
this is
It's
Flanders
pretty
Red.
close to high end flannel, but
I'm thinking a red ale, but no, like a
Brownish, reddish, sour, delightful,
Yeah.
barrel aged. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Jesus was that fancy, man. I don't
Yo,
know,
he-
man.
oh, he was
Was
fancy.
he the pucker up type? You know what I mean? Like
He had nice sandals, didn't he?
he had Birkenstocks.
Yeah, he had nice sandals.
Definitely had Birkenstocks.
He probably had the finest linen.
I mean, if I was Jesus, I'd have some like that. He ain't have much. He
I'd
could
have
at
a
least have
Versace
nice
robe.
thread count.
I would
You see
have
what
a
I'm
nice
saying?
Versace
I mean, if that
robe.
was the only thing I had, I'd like wanted to be comfortable out that motherfucker. So what is the next thing we're drinking?
Oh,
here?
okay. Well, all right. What is the next thing we're drinking?
I cracked a Knockin' How. Knockin' How is also a wild, and
y'all like the wild
actually,
shit.
well, yeah. I mean,
I mean,
so Knockin' How
on brand.
is actually was the first beer that we were aging in those particular bourbon barrels where we isolated those bacteria. However, we ferment this clean first and then age it in those barrels on that same strain of wild yeast. And so it's not quite so sour. Okay. It's a little bit more caramely. There's still a hint of the funk and a little bit of the sourness, but not quite as tart as the high-end flannel. So Knockin' How, yeah, we have a festival where we celebrate all things Bigfoot. Because we have a lot of Sasquatch up in Indiana County, and everybody up there knows that knocks and howls are how you, when you walk around in the woods, that's how you know you're coming up on a Sasquatch.
Yeah.
So, I want you to, so in all seriousness, when describing that, does that sound ridiculous to you? As a city guy, I'm a little like, wow, this is how people think and live places.
That's right.
We have a lot of Sasquatch up in Indiana County. What does that mean? You were so technical before you said that. You were talking about clean and fermentation and all that.
I think that once a large white dude gets shirtless, he's technically a Sasquatch at that point. Like that's
You're like my dad.
And like if he gets too drunk and like get lost in the woods, that's
y'all got a lot of streakers. A lot of middle-aged streakers in Indiana County.
Spent a lot of time in the woods.
Here, I thought you were referencing like the fact that I've already taken my shirt off.
Yeah. And Jay's sitting here.
Are
with
you
his
a shirt off dude? Are you one of the beer
No.
festival dudes that'll just
cut my
like,
grass with the shirt off. You know,
oh well,
like,
man, yeah. Well, you gotta, that's your lawn. Like, that's a shirtless. That's
I don't
that's an
know.
appropriate shirtless situation.
I don't know, because I find issue with the guy who has perfect cut grass posture with his shirt off, like his back's completely straight. He's walking.
See that. Yeah.
He just looks all pretentious and shit.
He's preening. That's something different.
Trying to flex, you don't even do sit-ups. Hairy ass stomach
posture.
just out like
I got this neighbor that's across the street. That motherfucker don't wear a shirt for shit all year. Like you're right. He's just he's not a well built dude, but he just it's weird. Like it's like he makes a point to not wear a shirt. Like he goes and gets his mail with no shirt on and shit. Like he's almost a nudist. I think he might be a nudist, and he just comes out in like shorts or whatever the fuck. Like he might be a nudist in and
He
out.
survived the cold.
Come on, you know
cold
if
weather
he's
we've
a
had.
nudist.
Bro, he just be coming
he
out
survived
like
it?
well, you know what? I'm gonna say that when he did come out in the weather, he came out in a robe.
Ooh.
So that was about
Okay.
his. That was
I
his
almost
most
bought a
clothes.
robe.
Most clothes. I have not had. I do not own a
almost
robe.
bought
I own a robe.
You own a robe?
Yeah.
How's that life, man?
I mean, I don't pull
You
it
a
out all the
high-end
time.
flannel dude.
Yeah, man. I feel like I want to get into the robe life.
You gotta
Yeah.
get into
Robe life is lit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
It's something about
Is that the word for it?
Yeah, no, I mean, it sounds lit.
It's something about owning land. Like you do want to do things in your drawers. Like I took the trash out in Long John's only the other day.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
it was just because I was on my property. It doesn't matter.
yeah.
I'm out here, print out and everything. So
go.
what?
Boxer briefs are totally acceptable if you're on your own land.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you rent though, you got to
Not
put
if
your
anybody can
basketball
see
shorts
you.
on. You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You can go box basketball shorts and no shirt. That's fine.
Yeah,
Take
if
out
you
the
rent, you
trash.
can do that, but you can't go. See, you could if depending on where your trash can is, you can go boxers no shirt in your
Yes.
in your
Oh
yard.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
But your
yeah.
toes have
I've
to be
definitely-
covered.
I've had the yeah.
Your toes have to be covered because
I don't
toes
really
is out, you do
walk
that.
around with my toes out anyway. So
Yeah,
if I'm gonna run out, it's gonna be
Yeah,
boxers.
no,
and
you want a
socks.
non-toe
But like
podcast.
I will go run at my car. Like if I forgot something in my car or whatever, I'll do a quick sprint out. You know what I mean? Boxers, socks, you know what I mean? In and out, you know what I mean? Because I'm technically touching.
you crossing the sidewalk,
Now see,
fam.
I'm technically touching public property, I know. But it's an in and out. Like
You
it's a
living
very
life on the
respectable,
edge
you know
right
what I mean?
there.
It's a very in and out type thing.
It's a
you know what I
busy
mean?
street, bruh.
It is. It's right off of the main
It
street,
ain't
so
too
it
many
ain't
Negroes
yeah,
in that
so,
neighborhood.
Yeah,
You about to get the cops
yeah,
called
I
on
make sure But at the same time, there is a little small flex there. Yeah, I mean, because I'd be like, listen, bro, because I mean, all I got to do is take a step over here. Now I'm on own land, so it's all so it's a little. Yeah, I mean, you got to know your thing. So you got the robe. I need a robe in my life, man. I feel like that's the last.
I want to get a robe, but
I
I
don't
can't
know.
get robes. I retire.
No.
Robe, yeah, there's a strong argument for that. Just wait till you retire because the robe, it doesn't have that much use until you have some free time. You know, you can't use it that much. You really can't.
Well, I mean, I do a bit of work from home,
Okay.
so
well, there you go.
I feel like that might be a.
Yeah, we
got an
talk
extra-
about random shit.
You got an extra hour a day at home.
Did y'all think we all going to come here and talk about beer the whole time?
We didn't know what
talking about
Nobody understood what
the
Jay was
Amish.
talking about. He's a biologist. Nobody knew what the fuck he was talking about. The listeners at home were confused. I still don't know what a wild yeast is. All the yeast is wild. If I see yeast in pure form, that's just wild.
Yeah, I didn't put it there.
I shouldn't see
It did it on its own.
Last time, you were the last.
That's
Buzzy, when the last time you held some yeast?
You're holding yeast right now. So-
that's a bold yeast.
But on the other hand,
Unruly.
but on the other
It's
hand,
an
Jay is unqualified to talk about going outside in your underwear. 'Cause
Yeah,
he's just totally
yeah.
unqualified. He'll stick to the rules in that department.
are you
in that
straight-
department, he'll stick to the rules, and you won't get any creativity. And you won't
yeah,
get
I
any.
still
got your
have
teacher hat on. You still
I still got
Yeah.
my pajama pants on.
Yes,
He's sitting in the
Yes.
window watching you run to your car.
yeah, he's taking
This
notes.
dude
Look at that
draws.
He's drawing a sketch of it.
Studying some biology and shit. You should be excited. You're the money guy. We're about to release a whole end of high-end flannel robes that y'all can sell at Levity.
Yes, we got it.
Robes.
Fucking sit with your
We came here
level.
today
that's
to
it.
announce
Sit
like,
with your glass.
our newest merch is going to be
Rolling
robes.
out
Levity robe.
a
Flannel
line of
robes.
That's baby shower robe.
flannel
Baby shower.
robes
If I had a baby shower, the motherfucker gave me a nice robe.
with some new J's.
I'd sit in a robe. Boy, I'd fucking
Do you
urban out
even
that
need 'em?
robe. I'd get some J's to
Bruh.
match that robe.
Man.
And I'd still be wearing socks under my robe. Socks, my J's,
Absolutely.
my
We are-
drawers,
we-
my robe.
Your
We are definitely a
Birkenstocks.
socks podcast.
Birkenstocks.
Yeah, we're a socks podcast.
We're all in our socks now. Yeah.
Socks and
I'd
Birkenstocks.
oil my chest so I could leave it open
See,
a little
pause. See, now I had to pause. That.
and
I
I'm
don't
sitting
pause
on my-
often. I'm
That's
not.
all right.
I don't even. But that was. Don't oil yourself.
I'd be
up.
sitting
I don't
on
wanna-
the porch.
Don't be oil. Like what?
I'd
What
be
are you
sitting
doing
on
to
the
oil?
porch in my high-end flannel robe with my chest
Come on,
oil
man.
so the sun
Kids-
beaming. I'm
kids
fucking
walking
up
by
people
with your
driving
oiled
down the
ass
street
chest.
just
A little bit
flashing
of
their
gold.
eyes.
A little bit of gold in there.
Kids don't want to see that shit.
Don't make me fuck around and get a chain. Keep
Get a
talking
privacy
shit. I'll
bush
throw
if you
a
gonna
chain.
get a privacy bush if you're gonna be out there with your chest oiled up and shit, bro. Like yeah, I mean,
My porch
get
is
a little.
enclosed. It's enclosed, but I'm gonna take all that shit down and just sit on my porch with some Levity high end sitting. I have
Thank
y'all
you.
on. I'll be on brand,
I
on
appreciate
message,
that.
and my robe will be.
It's a blue
it'll
ribbon
be-
winner.
It'll be perfectly tailored, so it'd be great, man. We talk about this. I'll even have a satin collar on my robe, like it's a tuxedo. It should be dope.
Man, I do. I think I might have to get a robe though. That might be my next step in life.
Well, we've learned something today. We are now going to get robes. Thank you, Levity.
Oh, I thought he was about to like interview. I was like, oh shit,
Dark
y'all
Cell.
going to hear me in an interview one?
Yeah.
Did you bring? Oh, we got more stuff.
I'm
Is that-
thirsty.
is
They
that
got a surprise for
Oh word! Oh shit! We got more shit. Okay.
Day, you like some stouts and porters this
do
time of year,
enjoy
especially.
stout. Let's see. I like stouts and porters any time of the year. So there's that. I'm that type of motherfucker that will drink a stout and a porter in the summertime on my porch. You know what I mean? After I'm
Absolutely.
and I know most folks ain't that way, and I get it. But I'm a different animal in that regard. So I'd imagine you guys brought a little sham.
Here's a little something. This is Dark Soul. So
this
so
is
this
Dark
is
Soul.
Yeah, this label went another
truly
a whole nother feel to it.
It's way darker this time.
This is truly a bourbon barrel stout. Ignore
I might
the
go with that.
Hard on there. Like,
ignore the dirt. We
Listen, we ain't
we're too
drinking that.
cheap for ice. We
Ain't
just collect some dirty snow to keep our cooler.
That's right.
cold
We wear
and,
our sneakers here at Drinking Partners. We ain't one of them motherfuckers that try to keep it pristine. It looks used, lived in.
Yeah, I mean, we all professionals here. We working.
So this is a stout, a pretty big stout. We build and ferment and then age in Woodford Reserve barrels.
Ooh, Woodford Reserve.
So Woodford Reserve is pretty approachable, pretty tasty.
That shit.
Love bourbon. We did a release for this. Some friends of ours out of Indiana, PA, Vinegar Hill Pictures, did a documentary, I think is the word for it, and we're getting
Called
there.
Neat.
Called Neat. Neat, the bourbon film, and it's fantastic. And so we did a release.
Bourbon.
I love
whiskey.
bourbon. I love whiskey.
I'm getting like now in my old age, now I'm able to explore some shit. Like I love Scotch.
I
love that peaty,
love.
you know what I mean? But
Yeah, give it to me.
But whiskey in general is just
Right.
I'm a fan of.
Oh, yeah.
And bourbon is just like that. Like it's my like first love. You know what I mean?
I love
Yeah.
bourbon and beer.
If I could
I
throw
think it gives it the
keep
best
throwing it back,
aftertaste.
I
think
would
bourbon
throw
aftertaste
bourbon
is
back. I would throw and a lot of whiskeys. I love whiskey.
So this one's our favorite
Yeah,
bourbon barrel aged stout that we've done, I think by far. It's just big bourbon character, vanilla, oak. Just good.
What are the ABVs on these? We haven't even asked.
We call this one
stopped
11.
counting a long
This
time
is-
ago.
We call this one 11%.
You call this one 11?
I'm saying. That ain't sound legal at all. we
call
call
this.
it. It's relative.
That's what smart people said.
Wait,
it's all
time out, 'cause
relative,
I never got a
right.
direct answer.
11% precisely.
Okay. Wow. Damn.
One of the things we never ask is why is it called Levity?
Levity.
We started, so
11%.
we went through a lot of different names, a lot of different ideas, and just thinking about ourselves as, okay, who are we, why are we getting into this in the first place, and what does beer represent? And for us, having a beer with somebody usually involves sitting down with people you love, having funny conversation, lighthearted conversation, and just enjoying the good things in life. And levity means lighthearted. So right there is, after a lot of names ruled out, we just thought, we're guys who just enjoy having a good time, like being on this podcast, laughing around a couple of good beers. That's kind of the highest and best use of alcohol, I think, is just enjoying life together and lightening up after a hard day of work, hard week of work, enjoying life together and talking through things and laughing and it kind of helps you through life, I think in a good way.
I think it's ironic that your brewery is all about lightheartedness, and then you're pouring in this very heavy-hearted ale. Like,
Well.
that's a
Dark as shit. There's nothing lighthearted about this
dark
soul.
soul.
It's really 11% too.
It is.
That's why
good.
they named Levity.
Yeah, and it's
them 11s.
and it's actually like it's a deceptive 11. Yeah, I mean, because like it doesn't weigh heavy on you. You know what I mean?
Right,
It
right.
doesn't have like that booziness that you know what I mean.
Right.
Like
I know why they did it.
It's not even
It's a dad beer. We talked about them being this is dad beer. This is I need to.
yeah.
I worked real hard. I was brewing. I came home. This motherfucker and drew on the walls. I ain't got the soap at the crib right now to get it down. I got to look at it all day tomorrow. To spill. My son, we got this shit poopery at the house. You can pour it like in the water. He poured it all on the floor today. I just goddamn this 2-year-old.
this beer is saving lives.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
right.
You know what I mean? It's keeping
I tell
families
you,
together.
what I
man.
tell you.
If I didn't know that I was about to come have drinks, I don't know, man. He'd had to put the gloves on, man. I had to give me that fair one. Like, fair, why would you do that? Why
Right.
would you do that?
And that is the perfect, you know what I mean, getting off of work or whatever. When you just kind of sit and like that's a perfect, like I feel like that's a perfect bottle. You pour it, you have it, you know what I mean, you pour it like and that'll get you there. You know what I mean, that 11%, you know what I mean, that's your night. You know,
Yeah.
like you
Yeah,
ain't
you
turning
just
up too
nurse
crazy,
that, enjoy
and
it.
like, and you feel like you did something to deserve that. Like that's you know what I mean, all of that flavor in there. You're not throwing it back all crazy or whatever. You're sipping, you're enjoying, and you feel accomplished in some way. You know what I mean, so while all the madness of the world is going on, you know what I mean, like you have that chair wherever you're at. Maybe you're in a robe. And
You're definitely in a row
maybe you're in a
after
row.
this discussion.
And
yeah.
I mean,
It's a
you're
sip and look
sipping.
beer, too.
This
Yeah,
beer goes
exactly.
well
Yeah,
with
you're
sip and
like,
look.
I think it says that on the label.
Yeah,
this
you
beer
look-
goes best in a robe.
Yeah. Maybe you're not at that place in your life yet, but you're close.
I'm close, man. I'm
and
about
you
to-
can afford this bottle, but you can't quite afford the robe, but you're close.
I'm
And then
almost
one
there.
day,
we can get it. We
one day
gonna
the
start a
two come
GoFundMe
together.
for the road. We gonna get the road.
At
We
Christmas,
about to
We about to crowdfund the road situation. Road he gonna have a custom road It's gonna have some.
It's gonna have a high-end flannel, high-end flannel or dark soul robe.
It's gonna be flannel.
It's gonna be high-end flannel.
We'll get them the dark soul, and this is a sip and look, man. That's a new category that we should rate
sip and look
based on the sip and look. Because I've taken several sips and I keep looking at it like, the fuck's in there? You take some beer.
You be looking for the cocoa nibs or some shit. You be like, is that for?
You be looking to explain your body's reaction. I don't know what just happened, but
I like it.
my nipple just got hard. I don't know. That means it's really good, though.
Good.
Truth, man.
I'm glad you like it.
I'm glad you made it. I'm glad
you.
you made it. I'm glad you brought it. I'm glad you guys exist.
Thank you.
Y'all turned my life up. Like I'm really about to get a robe.
Yeah.
Like this is
That's-
what's
And
cool
like
about
I
the
gotta get a
community.
robe because
That's
I'm
what
not
we
gonna be
do.
outroaded. Like I'm not gonna be the robeless.
Oh, he know I'll
motherfucking
show
drinking
up with a
partner.
robe.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean,
I'll
so-
show up with the robe like it's a
Brother.
hoodie. I'll have on a winter coat with a robe underneath. Because I'll get the robe with the hood on it and everything. I'll be looking like Mayweather coming out.
I don't even know if you can't even get a robe without the hood. You
gotta get it with
the hood? You have to have the hood?
Yeah, you gotta have it,
Gotta have
man, bro. If you gonna robe it up,
Listen,
you gotta have the hood on it.
I'll put you in
man.
touch with my
It's
robe
gotta be
guy.
silk.
Yeah, you gotta have it. It gotta have.
I'll put you
He's
in touch
got a
with my robe
guy.
guy.
I got a guy.
Gotta have a fur in it. Yeah, I mean, it gotta.
So what
be
Luke hasn't revealed is that he also owns a good percentage of a robe company.
Robes.com. I just want to mention robes.com right now.
Wait,
They've
time
been
out.
so good to us. So good to us.
See, I don't pick up on whether because he fucked me up with 11%. Now I don't know if he's telling the truth or not.
Never know. Never know with this guy.
What was the other .com?
How do y'all work with him? Like, how do y'all know? I think this is how people feel about me that work with me. Like, they always tell me, I never know when you're serious. Because they know I do comedy outside of my actual work. But when I'm at work, I'm like, at work. And like, we have a mutual friend who went to him and said, I don't think he knows who I am. Like, no, he knows. He just, when he's at work, he's at work. So they never know if I'm joking or not. And you give me that vibe. No one's ever put me in that place.
I've been told I'm hard to read.
It was
Remember
very
that?
difficult to read. So now we have an
I actually
ongoing
been told
competition that you don't even know what's happening
Okay.
that I just told you about. Now we're
Robes.com.
competing.
Anyway,
we're competing now.
back to robes.com. They've been so good to us.
Yeah,
You
we're
should get on
competing.
there and buy a robe.
That's actually
That's not a real website.
No,
Actually, it might
I'm
be.
pretty sure robes.com.
Hey, it's gotta be
And I would
taken.
imagine you can
It's
get some
gotta be
robes on
taken.
that bitch.
You should give me some royalties.
It's also the
Robes.com.
name.
I
The
don't-
name of our next beer is Rubs.com.
Next beer is going to be called Deadpan.
Actually,
Deadpan. Yeah.
You're welcome.
They get a couple.
I'm over here with Eat a Hennessy guy, man. That's my dude. Me and Eat, we cool. we compete. Dave, you wrap it up. Shit, I'm mad at you.
Yo, so tell them where they can find you.
where can we? I'm,
Well, in
all right,
Indiana,
I'm
Pennsylvania, we have a lovely tap room. Delicious food.
Oh, you got food out
If I,
right
yeah,
Oh, yeah?
we got a-
Oh man, we
got
didn't even
really good
touch
food.
on the amazing food.
yeah, our tap room experience is awesome. We have really
you
good
got
food.
great
18 or
people
so
working
beers on
behind the
tap at
bar.
any point in time. Live music, entertainment. It's a really fun place to be.
Love live entertainment. That's
We have-
the way to go.
We got a summer
we have no
festival coming up.
TVs. It's just a place where people come and hang out and talk with the people they're with.
Talk to the people that you're.
Be all there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then and that's something we wanted to do from the outset is just make a place where people come together and be together and enjoy each other's company. And great food. We have festivals and outdoor concerts in the summer. It's great. It's really, really fun. We have live music, indoors all the time, and outdoors we do some big honking festivals in the summertime when the weather's nice. And you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Levity Beer, at Levity Beer. Look us up and follow us and
buy a robe.
buy a robe one.
Yeah, if y'all don't have flannel robes on sale,
Yeah, all right.
Well, I'll give you till June.
About
Yeah,
getting
do it.
those
Yeah,
robes.
if y'all ain't got, if y'all don't have them
Nate.
by June, I'm gonna go ahead and get them produced.
Okay. All right.
We need merch. We need products.
I agree.
DP robe. No, never mind. Go ahead, Dave. I ain't giving up no money moves. Let them know where they can find
bruh.
us.
And we're gonna print. We're gonna stitch 2 or 2 on the back of that shit. I had a motherfucker come up to me yesterday and say, "Yo, we need shirts that say 2 or 2, episode 2 or 2, motherfucker." They actually be listening, bruh. It's a little. It's crazy. Speaking of motherfuckers that be listening, whatever, it was at a beer festival yesterday. Speaking of beer festivals, we got Fresh Fest coming up. Fresh Fest. When I say coming up, August 10th, you know what I mean? Shout out to, you know what I mean, all the peoples and whatnot. You can get tickets at freshfestbeerfest.com. We are also currently in the runnings for the best beer festival in America right now, USA Today. So if you're listening to this right now, man, go on 10best.com. Go to usatoday.com. Either of those will work. They have a competition going on or whatever, and like, you know, we don't typically do the competition type thing, you know what I mean? But like this, I think this will, you know, help us out quite a bit. If we get that, right now we're number one.
We are winning.
we are currently
keep us there.
Number one. We would like you to keep us there.
Day.
You got to vote every day. We vote every day. Set an alarm, you know what I mean? So please hop on that 10best.com or usatoday.com and vote for us. And the dope thing about it, it's a one-click thing. You know what I mean? Like, so if you go on any of our social media or whatever, there's a link there. It's literally, you click the link and then you click vote and you're done. You ain't got to fill out shit.
Submit your email address.
You ain't got to do none of that other bullshit. It's just like click and you're done. It's like 10 seconds. You know what I mean? So please hop on that. Keep us there. We would love to win that competition. And even if we don't win that, you're going to get a great ass festival. We got 40 collaborations, fucking like 75 vendors. We got DJs, live music, beer, people, art. Like it's Fresh Fest, man. It's us. It's what we do. Come support that August 10th at Nova Place, freshfestbeerfest.com. We are the drinking partners. If you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play, and Spotify under Drinking Partners. And you can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod.
Hey, we want to thank Jay, Eric, and Luke from Levity for coming through. Had a great time.
IUP.
Yeah, they said that, I didn't. But yeah, man, if I know we didn't touch much on the greatness of the actual brewery experience, but if you've been listening to the cast, you can always tell, and that's why we do this. If you look at ownership, you know, it's going to resonate in the product. So, you know, you are now DP stamped. You're part of the family, and as always, Drinking Partners is the crew. Epicast is the family. We out here. Woo! I'm over here dying. I'm over here doing vlogging. So give me information. I'm over here dying. Not here selling.
Day, like today. Or Jay. Very nice to meet you.
Like 5 letters.
It is day. It's like,
but it's gonna just I've noticed Ed is a very difficult thing because I no longer
Epicast.